Hello again. Just a reminder that the videos I've made in this series reflect the IELTS levels 4 and 5. That is, very basic functional and vocational English. For IELTS level 6+, watch my later series of videos. As we start this particular video, I want to talk to you about the words that make our conversations make sense. These words are known as verbs. Simply stated, verbs are words that express an action, a state of being or having. Without verbs and their tenses, our conversations would simply not make any sense at all. We're going to have a bit of a grammar lesson on verbs, but for a more in-depth grammar lesson on verbs, go to my specific video on this subject, verbs and their usage. There are 12 tenses in Australian English. But essentially they can be sorted into 3 categories: past, as in yesterday, present, as in today, and future, as in tomorrow. The types of tenses are also repetitive: simple tense or indefinite, continuous, perfect, or perfect continuous. Here we're going to look at the simple tenses of simple past, simple present, and simple future. But before we do that, something else we need to know about grammar are nouns. Nouns are simply names of person, places, or things. And again, there are 5 different types of nouns, but we're not going into that in this video. I'll be doing some specific grammar videos later. Nouns are very important to verbs because they give substance to the verb. I'll show you what I mean. If we take the verb to dream and pair it with the noun thoughts, we can come up with a sentence such as, I dream, verb, simple present tense, each night, and my thoughts, noun, are, simple present tense, happy ones. I dream each night and my thoughts are happy ones. Let's change this sentence slightly to use the simple past tense for the same verb. I dreamt, simple past tense, each night, and my thoughts were, this verb needed to be changed to be simple past as well, happy ones. I dreamt each night and my thoughts were happy ones. Now let's look at the same original sentence, but make it simple future tense. I will dream, verb simple future tense, each night, and my thoughts will be, again, we have to change this verb to agree with the tense of that verb, simple future tense, happy ones. I will dream each night and my thoughts will be happy ones. What you can see from this set of examples is that in each sentence, the verbs are following the same pattern. That is, if we change the tense of the main verb, then the tense of the following verbs must make sense as well. That often, although not always, means changing that verb's tense to match. I'm going to give you an example of a short paragraph using the verb to dream and the noun thoughts. This paragraph contains 5 sentences and it makes sense. Example using the first pair of words. Sometimes I think about the day ahead and look at the people sitting next to me in the train carriage. Do they dream happy thoughts, or are they worrying about something at home or at work? Maybe they're thinking about something to have for dinner that night. They might need to plan a shopping list to get the things they need for this. Tonight would be a great time to have the first barbecue of the season because it's warming up now. Maybe I should stop at the supermarket on the way home and get stuff for an easy barbecue tonight. It's 101 words. For your own practice, I would suggest that you try to copy my example. In doing this, try to use the following verb and noun pairs to write your own composition. Just one paragraph at this stage. Use the sentence starter At various times in my life, I. The verb thought, simple past tense, that is, the action happened yesterday, and the common noun furniture. Your sentence could go something like this. At various times in my life, I thought that the furniture in my house was very old. Having written this sentence, you could add to this story by describing your old furniture. Another example, at various times in my life, I played, simple past tense, game. Your sentence could go something like this. At various times in my life, I played a game of Monopoly. Again, having written this sentence, you could add to this story by discussing the game or who you played it with. And this is all practice for your reading, writing, spelling, and speaking and understanding for your IELTS test. And one more for good practice. At various times in my life, I made. Plan is the common noun. Your sentence could go like this. At various times in my life, I made a plan to try something very different. And again, you could add to this story in your own words. As you may have noticed, verbs change their forms depending on the tense, but also who is doing the action. I want to introduce the term pronoun here. A pronoun is not a noun, but it is a word that takes the place of a noun. There are different types of pronouns, but for now, we're just going to look at personal pronouns. As you can probably guess from the name, they are pronouns that replace a person in a sentence, spoken or written. Here's a list of some personal pronouns. They are important because we use them when we're conjugating verbs. Conjugating simply refers to different forms of a verb. And see my past video on verbs and usage for more information on that. If you're talking about yourself, a person, or a group of people, we can use the 12 personal pronouns I, me, he, him, she, her, it, you, we, us, they, them. Let's look at the conjugation of the regular verbs to walk and to hire in simple tense, past, present, and future. Simple tense of to walk. I walked, he or she or it walked, we walked, you walked, they walked. We can see it's regular because each one of these ends in ed. I walk, simple present. He, she, it walks, we walk, you walk, they walk. And simple future, I will walk, he, she, it will walk, we will walk, you will walk, they will walk. The regular verb to hire follows the same pattern. Past tense ends in ed. I hired, he, she, it hired, we hired, you hired, they hired. Simple present, I hire, he, she, it hires, we hire, you hire, they hire. Simple future, I will hire, he, she, it will hire, we will hire, you will hire, they will hire. As well as there being regular verbs, that is, verbs that follow the pattern in past, present, and future tenses, there are verbs that are known as irregular. And irregular verbs do not follow a pattern when they're conjugated. And the most obvious one to demonstrate this is the verb to be. And we use forms of this verb many times. Here's a simple past. I was, he, she, it was, we were, you were, they were. Simple present, I am, he, she, it is, we are, you are, they are. Simple future, I will be, he, she, it will be, we will be, you will be, they will be. Can you see the difference between regular and irregular verbs? How do you know whether a verb is supposed to be regular or irregular? Watch my video on verbs and their usage and you'll find a lot more about verbs. More simple conversations. By now, you should be able to speak to 15 to 30 seconds, which is about 100 words. I'm going to give you a few examples so you can try this out for yourself. And remember, this is all heading towards your IELTS passing. Sometimes I think about the day ahead and try the regular verb to wish. Sometimes I think about the day ahead and I wish that. Try the irregular verb to eat. Simple past, I ate, he, she, it ate, we ate, you ate, they ate. Simple present, I eat, he, she, it eats, we eat, you eat, they eat. That should have, oh no, that's okay. Simple future, I will eat, he, she, it will eat, we will eat, you will eat, they will eat. Sometimes I think about the day ahead and please continue to watch the next videos where you'll learn more conversational English and extend your knowledge and skills in Australian English reading, speaking, listening, writing and understanding, as well as more on grammar. Can I ask you, if this content has been helpful, would you please subscribe to this channel? Many thanks and hope you get to Australia one day.